Are Finns really welcoming towards foreigners here in Finland? Am I the official trader of Finland and Finnish country? Today I'm gonna answer some of the fantastic questions you sent me, and let's go right to the first one. We will also have the comment of the week as well as the hate comment of the week, because not everyone just likes me. Olvin HH asks, hi, is always heating always good enough in Finnish flats, at least plus 20 Celsius, even in the winter? That is a great question, and answer is absolutely. Because the Finnish flats and houses are built in a way that it doesn't matter how cold it is outside, in the inside it will be always warm. For example, I sleep naked, and sometimes I make my breakfast naked, and I'm completely warm enough. As a Finn, the thought of getting cold inside a house when wearing basically nothing doesn't even come across to my mind, because it's just kind of like basic stuff. So you don't have to get worried about feeling cold inside Finnish houses or flats. Iina Vieta asks, not a question but a conspiracy theory that there is no Finland, so Russia can use those fathers of Finland. This is a great question, and there is an official conspiracy theory that Finland doesn't exist. Instead of the country of Finland, there is this water, and the actual land, for example Helsinki, where I'm at the moment, is just either Estonia, Russia or Sweden. I have actually made a video about this topic. It's a little bit old, but I'll link it here. Make sure to check it out, because it's actually pretty bizarre. What is even more bizarre, that there are so many people who think it's true. Scarlett Cano asks, how do you manage to drive your cars in winter? Does everyone have to clear roads? That's a great question. In Finland, there's a law that you need to put winter tires in your car. So basically there are these like studded tires that give you more grip on slippery roads. And also what you need to remember, when it gets really cold, you need to warm up, or you need to use this heater to warm up your car before you start it, because it can be quite unhealthy for the car and the engine if you try to cold start the car. And all the roads are usually cleared out by the public sector, so the cities deploy snow blowers to clear out the snow. And if it's like a block of flats, there's usually some people who are hired to maintain the area, and they do kind of the snow work for you. So things run pretty nicely in terms of cars in the winter. How does it feel like being a trader? More immigrants decide to come to Finland thanks to you. This is not the first time I've got this question, and some Finnish people, well, I assume they're Finnish, they think that because of me, immigrants around the world are gonna come into Finland and overrun the whole country. And unfortunately, I just have to say that there are, like in any country most likely, also in Finland, there are these kind of people who feel threatened by foreigners. But in my opinion, we should just completely ignore these type of people, because it's their fault, not yours, if they think like this. Keep that in mind. If I manage to bring out more people who get employed and pay taxes and contribute to the society, how is that a bad thing? How is that a bad thing? One of the things this guy has in their mind is that unfortunately there are also some kind of this trouble immigrants who just come here, they don't even plan to get work, they just want to live here on the expense of the taxpayers, and that is not okay. That is not okay. But anyone who wants to come here, understand our culture, the lifestyle, get a job, pay taxes, have fun here, welcome. You're welcome to come. Are you finding this video useful? Hit thumbs up. Michelle Larga, hope I pronounced the name correctly. What is your favorite Finnish tradition? This is a great question, and by hands down, I have to say Vappu. So Vappu is on 1st of May, and originally it was this celebration for the working people, but now everybody basically celebrates it. Basically it's this type of like a spring carnival. People go out in the parks, have huge picnics, they have their ylioppilaslakki or teekkarilakkis, they drink sparkling wine, have fun. Everyone's happy in Vappu. Unfortunately, because we don't have those many types of celebration that often, that's what makes it so cool. On top of that, in Vappu we drink this cool drink called Sima, one of my favorites, and also it's a monkey. So Vappu is definitely one of my favorites. Juhannus is the second. Jackie FBY asks, your favorite movie? Well, I like Back to the Future trilogy. I also like James Bond movies and, for example, The Hateful Eight. Let's go with those. Then we have Mura's Musings asking, do you get to see Northern Lights or does that require travel further north? Mura, thanks for the great question. And as you can see, Mura has this cool sauna kilo next to her name, which means that she's a member of this channel. If you want to become a member and get some cool bonuses and perks, click the join button below this video. I have to reveal you something pretty weird. I have never ever seen Northern Lights in my life. And the reason to that is that in Finland, if you want to see Northern Lights, you really have to go quite north to Lapland, I would say. And for example, my hometown is kind of like the middle part of Finland, and now I'm living here all the way in the south in Helsinki. So here in the south, it's very rare to see any Northern Lights. But if you go to the Lapland, I think you can see even monthly or even weekly Northern Lights. So if you want to go for the Northern Lights, you definitely want to organize a trip to Lapland. There are lots of other cool things you can do in Lapland, and Northern Lights is definitely one of those. Kalista Duthi asks, how welcoming are Finnish people to foreigners? Well, this is a good question, and I get this quite often, this question. I think I have made a separate video here. I'll put the link here. You can check it out after this video. Don't go anywhere yet. For Finland, it's been quite little time ever since we started to get immigrants and foreigners to our country, and because we are quite a small population, around 5.5 million people, like Finns are still getting adjusted to having international people around. But at the same time, I have to say that there are a number of really open-minded people who think foreigners are cool and are open-minded towards foreigners. But at the same time, as we saw from the hate comment of the week, there can be some little bit more closed people who might be a little bit threatened because of foreigners. The advice I want to give to you is that you have no control of the thought processes of these people. So we shouldn't focus or worry about that, because it's no good. It doesn't make us any good. But instead, what we can do is to find ways how we can integrate ourselves to the Finnish society, and that is, for example, learning a little bit of the Finnish language, learning the culture about the traditions, Juhannus, Vappu, Christmas, for example, understanding Finnish behavior, culture. And this is something that's always within your control, because you can make the decision, okay, I'm going to learn a little bit of Finnish, I want to put effort to learn the culture, and that is within our control. So focus on those kind of things and ignore the things that we cannot really control, like some hate people or ignorant people. Little bit of long answer, hope that it helps. Mike Disasa asks, is it easy for former Finnish citizens to get citizenship back? Will they have an easier time? I think there is a way. If you are a former Finnish citizen, I think you can get kind of like this fast lane to get apply for Finnish citizenship. I'm not aware of the details, but I think there's on Migri, immigration service in Finland, they probably have information about those. I'll put the link in the description, you can check it out there. Kinds of gifts for a Finnish woman in her birthday. Well, that's a great question from Yakamo50. What I want to advise here is that I think you should less pay attention to the fact where she comes from, what is her nationality, like Finnish, and put more emphasis on her as an individual. We all are different, even among Finns. Try to find out what kind of things she likes, what kind of things she enjoys to do, and go from there, instead of, for example, giving salmiakki to her as a birthday gift because she's Finnish. Not all girls like salmiakki. For example, in my case, my girlfriend was just Finnish-Swedish, but I will ask her directly, hey, is there anything you would like to do on your birthday? Or what kind of presents would you like to have? Of course, if you want to have the surprise element, you want to kind of make it as a surprise, but you can do that beforehand, maybe months in advance, and try to find out what kind of things she likes, and then plan your gift according to that. Good stuff. And the comment of the week we have from Tiago Serra 2476. What is the absolute best thing about living in Finland, and why I think this is the comment of the week? Because this is a good question and you really have to go deep down and think what is important to you. Well, I would say everything just runs so smoothly here. You can trust the system. There's no really corruption in your everyday life. You don't really have to worry about when you go out in the streets that someone would try to scam you or mug you. And when you jump in the public transportation, you can be sure that they will run according. Well, sometimes there might be delays. Or if you do anything on the public sector services, you can rely that they will do their stuff accordingly. No one tries to kind of screw you up. So you can be safe and sound about everything in your everyday life. What do you think? What is the best thing about living in Finland? Let me know in the comments below. Next question is from Andrei Makarov. Why do some Finns want to move somewhere from Finland? I mean, Finland is already one of the top places to live, and while moving into Finland is considered the biggest life goal for many people. Well, this is a good question, and obviously the perception of Finland is different if you have lived your whole life in Finland, and if you are living somewhere not in Finland. And for example, some of the things what I think are not so good in Finland, for example, the people are not really that social, so getting to know people and engaging in social situations is a little bit more challenging. And for example, the weather in the winter can be challenging. It's dark and cold and kind of annoying. Some people say the taxes are too high. There can be a number of reasons. And one thing what I have been thinking, the winters I could live somewhere like in Spain or Portugal, and for the summers I could come back here because the weather and the climate is a big factor. If you want to understand the Finnish culture and people better, learning the language is the key. And if you join my email list, I can send you a free PDF guide on how to get started with the Finnish language. Link to that in the description. And make sure to hit thumbs up if you like this video. See you next time. Moi moi!